How much would $100,000 change your life? A ton. Could pay off all debt and put a very nice down payment on a house. Would make the mortgage manageable. Immediately? Not much at all. I'd pay off all my debt. Take a chunk out of the house I'm about to sign on. The monthly savings, however, would really allow me to change my life though. A highly significant change, but not world-shattering. Well, I'd be able to buy one half of an apartment. Would be debt-free, which would be nice. Insanely. I'm 19 and I'd be able to pay for university. Pay for my car and help my parents who are on the streets get back on their feet and get my siblings out of foster care. Would definitely help me pay off college. Just more money for retirement. That's all. Business as usual. It would pay off my husband's student loans and some medical bills that he has left. Pay off my dental bill. Pay off RCR. It would let me retire, semi-retire substantially earlier. It would increase my retirement savings. But wouldn't change my day-to-day life. 30 years from now, that $100,000 could grow to a cool $1 mill. Though 5 to 6 years of rent while I get my Ph.D. sounds pretty fantastic. Probably wouldn't change much. I'd probably use it to reno my kitchen and replace my windows. In almost every aspect. I wouldn't move, but everything would change. Not feeling like I've fucked up every last shred of everything would be a start. Not that much. It'd let me live my modest dream of having a decent home and a dog. Without worrying if I could afford it. Not a huge house even. Maybe just a townhome. Buy my house, boom, no rent, then I'm rolling in that CARRAASH. A lot. I'd be able to quit my job, move across the country and start my own business. Change everything. It would remove some stress, that's for sure. I'd be debt-free and have about $95,000 left over. So it would be significant. It would change my life and all my family's lives. Are you offering? Not much, honestly. Buy higher quality drugs. Would quit my job and just fucking rock climb and fish every day. Allow me to go to school worry-free for an entire degree. Pretty substantially changing, I'd say. Might finally be able to buy a house. I would be able to buy a house. I'm 24 and I've already saved quite a bit. But can't get a proper mortgage on one salary. It would add $100,000 to my net worth. Not sure. Buying property and building a small house somewhere remote is what I dream of. But that's still expensive. Would pay for literally 1/5 of my daughter's schooling. I would be close to being able to buy a house. That's more money than I have spent the last 10 years. So, life-altering to say the least. 1. 10K in Bitcoin. 2. 10K in equity fund. 3. 70K on a one-bed apartment. 4. 10K on renovating apartment. 5. Wait 5 to 10 years. 6. Profit. Man, I could focus on my health instead of worrying about my job, and such less stress would probably have health benefits as well. Totally life-changing. I would live alone. A shitload. I could give my kids a better life, for sure. Considering that $1 is about $3.20 here where I live, that would be great, and it would make my family's life easier. I could go to college. It would give me more comfort. I could pay down my debt, create the comic book I've always wanted to publish, and invest in my family's future. I'd be debt-free, and I'd be able to get my teeth fully fixed. A lot. A holy lot. A lot than I thought it would have. It would not change mine much, but I would change quite a few others. I'd finally be able to afford a house. I'd be able to pay all my debts and have money left over for a deposit on a small house. Would actually own a home. No other way it happens. Ask me when I sell my house for twice what I paid in a couple months. All debt gone and a nice down payment on a good house. I'd be living the dream. I would buy at least 2 more houses to rent out, so it would make me money. I would not put it toward any debt. Servicing that just fine, and when I die, someone will sort it. IDK, I'd be playing Cyberpunk on max settings. I'm in HS, so it'd make a big difference for college. My brother's house would be $100,000 cheaper. Just £1,000 would significantly change my life for the better. £100,000 is unimaginable. I could move out after I finish high school. My household is pretty toxic, and I have no interest in staying in touch with my family after I move out. Completely, utterly, totally, wonderfully. I had the opportunity to find out recently. Honestly, not much changed, except maybe I feel a tiny bit more security. I'd have that surgery where you remove some ribs so you can fillet yourself. ITT. People listing the most touching stories and reasons due to the tiny chance that the person asking, or someone else reading the thread, might be generous and rich enough to hand out $100,000. I'd make my ducking life. Don't listen to these guys. Give me the money. Nothing spectacular other than being debt-free 5 years earlier than planned. Not that much. I'd be able to pay off my student loans, which would increase his disposable income. But not by so much to make a huge difference. I could get a new car, but the rest I'd want to save. I'm in college, what do I need besides money to make it through and get a career? Once I'm out though, King SZIE race car bed. I wouldn't have to deal with moving rooms every 4 to 8 months. I'd have $100,230 right now. I wish someone would give it to me so that I could find out. I would move out of my parents' basement. That's pretty much all my student loans paid off. There is only one way to find out. Not very, if I'm going to be honest. Not at all. I have that in my checking account. There are millions in my savings. I wouldn't even notice it. I would take a chunk of it and buy a van and drive around living off of another chunk of it. Even a few grand could get me pretty far. So I'd still have plenty to save. Short term, I could pay off my student loans and take a chunk out of my mortgage. Long term though, rebuild savings and have peace of mind. Would be able to give my wife the honeymoon we missed out on last year and put a good chunk into our house and savings to get ahead a little bit. Sadly, not much in my life. But I'd probably donate a significant chunk of it to charity, so it'd probably change a pretty huge amount of lives. IDK though estimating charity is hard. I could retire in 20 years instead of 30. It could buy me over 500 shares of GME. It would pay off a small mortgage, 2 cars, a loan for my wedding, all CR. Buy a house and marry the love of my life instead of saving for a while longer to afford it all. 100,000 pennies would change my life. I'll invest it in crypto, and if luck be with me, after years I can buy a house with it and don't live in pension. Is it ever enough? Even billionaires don't stop at billions. It's human nature. It's never enough. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe for more content.